Hey, it's Sol with news, updates, and analyses. And to really shake things up today, I'm actually going to talk about news, updates, and analyses. There are a lot of topics that other YouTubers go really in depth with that, to be perfectly honest, aren't really worth the 5 to 20 minute video to go over. So instead, I'm going to take some of these topics and condense it into a simple bit of news and some brief opinions. This is my first time doing this format, and I'm going to be catching up on... That's... you can't write that shit. Hey, it's Sol. It's June 22nd, 2018. This is Warcraft Weekly number 100. That is Bob, and today's episode is brought to you by two of my newest patrons, as well as, of course, all of you. This is going to be corny for a little bit. Skip it, skip it. It really is thanks to all of you who have been watching, supporting, commenting, even giving the critical feedback, the negative commentary. All that stuff has slowly forged me into the thing that you're seeing today. So congratulations, internet. This is all your fault. And let's have a contest. Easy to enter and probably hard to win. One winner from the US regions will be chosen, and all you have to do is put 2 thoughts in a comment below. First thought, something nice, something that you enjoy about the channel, about the weeklies, about what I do. 2, what sucks? What do you not like? What do you want to see changed? What? Or whatever. I love getting feedback, and I'm working on I'm trying to better identify myself as a person, as a channel. But enough of that garbage. Let's get to some news, okay?
You didn't even say what the contest is for.
Oh, I didn't? WoW token, usual thing. Oh, and of course, even if you don't live in the US regions and you're not eligible to get a WoW token from me, it's alright. I would love to get your input anyway. Nice save?
Nope.
Fine. World of Warcraft Battle for Azeroth is coming soon. So, typical thing. Did you get in the beta? Huh? Did you? No? Fuck. Unleash your rage below, and I'll give it a heart out of pity. Because, hey, they still haven't given me beta keys to give out. I'm not going to presume that it's going to happen. I'm just going to wish you the best. And there are still a lot of beta giveaways going out from Wowhead and other big sites. But with the expansion coming very soon, the speculation is running wild. When's the pre-patch? Huh? Wowhead had just recently put out an article saying that the possible launch date would be July 17th. This is based on some of the data mine information that they have access to, those cheaters, and a little bit of common sense. This is 1 month before the actual expansion opens up. Other theories have been going around, and let me share mine. July 10th is when it's going to come out. There was a very recent blog post by Blizzard Entertainment indicating that the mobile armory auction thingamajigger is going to shut down on the 11th. There was also an article about support for the 32-bit version of WoW dropping in early July. July 10th, in my opinion, gives us a little bit more time to flesh out all the cool stuff that we'll be enjoying in this pre-patch, including the Darkshore campaign, the burning of the big tree thing, when the castle goes boom, etc., etc. The hope, according to this blog post, is that the Legion companion app, which many of us had used to cheese our way through a bunch of order hall missions and make oodles of golds, that's going to be converted into what they're calling a new WoW companion app in the future. So if that's the case, cool. 1 week sooner is something that I'm hoping for. But at any rate, get to it. As a reminder, it is June 22nd, 2018. This is Warcraft, whatever. There's only so much time before everything changes. And all the horrible things that you think are going to happen in this expansion are going to come true. To also generate hype for the Battle for Azeroth, or otherwise remind players how much more awesome Classic WoW is going to be later, Blizzard is opening up all 6 bajillion of the inactive WoW accounts so that people can just hop in and see what's going on. Like, wow. Okay, that was not intended. Look at this funny looking picture of the elfin cow that you won't be able to play as unless you, do all the things to unlock allied races. I see what they're doing. They're, sprinkling a little bit of temptation. I mean, think about it. There are a lot of players that still play the World of Warcraft, whether you think it's 50 people or, 10 million. The one thing that is not in dispute, though, is that there are a ton of people who have, at one point in their lives, heard of or had played the World of Warcraft. That's right, person who never thought that they would be able to play a fucking panda in a Warcraft game. You can hop right in and See what you missed. Blizzard is also discounting all of their character services by 25%. Not bad for, I don't know, returning players, people that are just trying out the expansion during the free trial and figuring out, oh, hey, you know what? Maybe I'll play this thing for a little bit. And I find that great. This absolutely is not a smokescreen for the certain price increases that are going to happen very soon. No. Fans of rated PvP have reason to rejoice, or I should say, have a sigh of relief that Blizzard is coming through with a easy to understand and reasonably competent looking rating system. Along with clear levels of brackets, you'll be able to see your score in pretty much real time. And as I mentioned in an earlier news thing, these brackets are going to be related to the kind of PvP gear that you get every week in your magical PvP chest, wherever it is in your town. I have nothing snarky to say about that. I'm actually very happy for the PvP community about this change, so let's move on. We have a new beta build this week full of number tweaks and changes that I'm not going to mention because that'll take way too freaking long. There's some limited visuals, and I want to take this moment to say hi to my wife who might be listening to the weekly but not watching it. Well, now that I got your attention, hey look, something you don't like. We're definitely going to find this thing
and slay it.
Hi wife. Uther's tomb has been further updated with no other context to indicate what the heck's going on. At this point, it wouldn't surprise me if they added, I don't know, a chandelier to the decorum. Hint, hint, undead Uther. Yeah, he'll be really happy about that. There aren't very many visual things that were introduced in this build except, oh my. Oh, dang. Sorry, but hey, these look good compared to the hundreds of other ones that we have lined up next to it, right? One of the most exciting things that came in this build is that now we're able to take our war resources and apply them to research. Yeah, really excited.
You sound like me.
No, I don't. These research options are very, they're very surface. They don't provide a whole lot of gameplay stuff, but I mean, they help. Right? So let's run through this stuff really quick. You have a couple of rows of selections, and based on your playstyle, you choose the thing that is best for you. So here's what I'm going to take. First level, Seafarer's Hearth. Makes the cooldown of my Hearthstone go down by a lot. Upgraded Troop Barracks gives you, well, more dudes to hold on to. Normally you have 4, this brings it up to 6. The alternative option is to be able to instantly build troops if you want to as well, which is also a good thing. I just decided to go for the Troop Barracks because I know that I'm not going to be, sitting on the mission table for very long. Maybe later on, or if I have a bunch of alts, the other option will be a little bit better for me, knowing that I'm not really going to be, going anywhere very much. For the third level, I did Island Plunderer. And if you look closely, there's another requirement. Complete expeditions to 5 different islands. So strap in, folks. You need to play the game to unlock stuff. Anyway, this bonus is meant to make island expeditions feel a little bit easier in the long run because you're able to buy all sorts of snazzy tools and, well, things to help you out on these expeditions. So being able to get a little bit more is cool. The one that I'm going for though is local transportation. This upgrades your Flight Master's Whistle, so if you happen to be on the continent that is not your home factions, you're able to kind of hearth right back. So hey, faster travel, instantaneous transportation, path of least resistance, go for it. This next level is all about how you want to conduct yourself in a warfront. If you're on an alt and all you want to do is gather resources for your team, which is, by the way, a perfectly viable strategy, go for this talent. If you're on your main and you're on the front line, take this other ability. It'll be more useful for you. And take a look at that requirement. You need to play Warfronts to unlock the Warfront talent. And at the very bottom, there's that level that you're probably going to unlock anyway, Azerothian Diplomat, which will more than likely make it pretty cheesy to obtain war resources. And that's it. That's the super exciting thing of this build. Woo. I'm half kidding, actually. The most exciting thing for me in this particular build is, 1, the title screen. I am a big fan of it because it is very, well, gritty, sober, almost kind of boring.
Like you?
Like me. I can relate to this. This is what's inside my heart. I was a big fan of this, and equally importantly, we got a crap ton of music from the expansion. And it's good.
Really good?
Real good. And the fans came out to also share their appreciation.
Ugh, Blizzard forgot how to make good login screens after MOP.
This login screen is like a ribbon, just to give the last touch, confirming this expansion is nothing but an orc and human expansion. And this is why I quit. So much better than the boring Green Legion screen. I love it.
I would have been so hyped 6 months ago before we found out how much of a disaster the story is. Burning Teldrassil would have been way cooler MO.
Yikes, looks very lackluster and boring. Mop was the last good one. Yeah, nothing is sacred. Also in this beta/PTR build, Horde players were finally able to progress at least a little bit further into their version of the campaign through Darkshore, which eventually leads to the events in Teldrassil. I was encouraged to play through so I can find out just how monstrous and evil my faction has become. Instead, what I got was a lesson of how Night Elves manipulate spirits in order to create
Death walls.
It's actually quite sophisticated. Night Elves are able to manipulate the spirits of the dead within the forest to create a very deadly and nigh impenetrable wall, all resulting in a very quick death of any who try to pass. I also noticed, and maybe I just didn't notice this before, that spirit owls are considered humanoids in-game. I find that to be pretty resourceful, that the Night Elf civilization, what they do is take spirits and imprison them into these little spiritual constructs and put them up as sentries to be the eyes and ears so they can spot their enemies. Not bad. So it's kind of funny that when Sylvanas tried to replicate this by using the Blight in the defense of her land, she didn't have over 10,000 years of experience to develop her own spirit wall of death, and instead just kind of ghettofied a green Blight thing. Yes, it hurts both friend and foe, and she also raised a bunch of constructs. But hey, you gotta go with what you have on hand sometimes. All that aside, I guess what I'm saying is that I didn't learn very much. It's a slow burn campaign. There's gonna be a lot more going on. And again, that's why I think that that all these events that are happening in this pre-expansion patch are going to take a little bit longer. So I am really hoping for that slightly earlier July date. All in all though, I'm just excited with all these little tidbits of information that we're getting. It really just makes me want to it just makes me want to jump in and play this damn thing already. This week I did a number of videos, including a fake survival guide. Utilizing all the wit and talent and salt that I can muster, I launched this to make a little bit of fun of the game, of Blizzard, even you folks at home and on the toilet. It was fun, and a lot of you appreciated it, and I love you for it. There are also a lot of people that did not appreciate it, probably because they expected an actual guide. So my question for you folks at home and elsewhere is, do you want a guide now or later? Because to be honest, I was going to put out a legitimate guide to the Battle for Azeroth expansion in your first couple of days and weeks in order to kind of get yourself through as efficiently and as painlessly as possible. It's not meant to be like a speed instruction manual, but simply a guideline for just how to have a good time in the expansion. So please let me know in a comment below if you think I should put it out sooner, as in like next week, because I could have that ready to go next week, or if you think I should hold off until we see a couple more builds. I also had a little bit of fun writing a little bit of fan fiction and narrating it as Nathanos Blightcolor. Making it was a lot more fun than I thought it was going to be. Seeing the reactions, just as much. Long may you reign.
Ah, I love that, lol.
This gave me a stiffy for some reason.
Did Nathanos write this? I can't imagine Sylv talking in the third person.
Dark Lady watches over us. You sound like you had way more fun than you should have had making this.
People calling Anduin Manduin, LM foul, little lion.
Probably the most controversial thing that I did this week is something I just did yesterday, where I kind of sort of talked smack about Saurfang. I tried to paint the following three ideas. 1, Sylvanas ain't that great of a war chief. 2, Saurfang, if he was made war chief, he wouldn't do much better. And 3, that the two of them put together would make a pretty good power couple. Okay, maybe not that kind of couple, but I'm just talking about from a leadership standpoint. The intention was to challenge your thoughts, to go against the grain, to see just how people would react if I gave a certain position. In other words,
He started shit.
I started shit.
Sylvanas is my war chief.
Bane for War Chief.
Gallywix for war chief. It's a war, Saurfang, not single combat. Let's go, soldier. You have an objective to neutralize. Sylvanas is my war chief.
I stand behind Sylvanas, mainly because I'm loyal to the Horde, and this was Volge's request that she became the war chief.
The hoop soul jumps and twisted to not call Sylvanas selfish or Olympic quality. She's selfish.
Ah!
Honor soul. No matter how dire the situation, never forsake it.
Lorthamar Theron is the only true war chief.
Lich Queen, best queen.
I don't want Saurfang as my war chief.
So you're trying to say that Saurfang is Trump and Sylvanas is Clinton. No good comes out of politics. Preach it, sister. The conversations got a lot deeper than that. Most of them focused on what is honor, which I think is a very fascinating and fluid subject. Because there's my sense of warped honor, although apparently according to the comments I have none. There's the definition of honor according to like medieval times and samurai and that sort of thing. But this was such a fun thread to participate in. And that's what I do. This is my channel. This is where I like bringing up a topic that is admitted, I admit that's I'm starting shit. It's contentious. It is debatable, but I love seeing the interactions of people, at least when it stays civil. I'd love to see how people react to it, and I love jumping in. So if you guys don't do that normally, at least take a look at some of these comments, because some of the threads, they're like pretty, they're not very great, but some of them, some of the ones that I do jump into, they can be, pretty cool. With me talking smack about Saurfang so much, I'm probably gonna go to Horde Hell.
Where's Horde Hell?
Silver Moon, I bet. So that's the weekly, folks. That is one big segment of who I am and what this channel does. I'm going to be thinking out loud for a little bit, so bear with it, or otherwise, like, subscribe, get out of here, because Soul's going to talk for a little bit. I've been thinking about it for a while, just how it is I define myself as a channel, because I'm a variety sort of thing. I do all sorts of things all over the place, and I still haven't quite identified myself in such a way that someone can be like, hey, let's check out that Soul guy because he does the, he does things. I love doing all these different things. Unfortunately, what that also means is that it's really hard for me to reach out and identify myself, like I said, as a certain channel in such a way that I'm able to get more people interested in what it is that I do. What some folks do, like Hruma Red X, they create entirely separate channels so they can have focused content in each of those individual channels and they can have their growth there. But part of me doesn't really want to split. I don't know, it just feels like I'm almost splitting the community up a little bit. I'm not sure. It's something that I am struggling with because after 2 years of doing this, I'm having a ton of fun. It's still super fun for me to do. I've gotten well past my, hey, I'm just going to talk for like 7 minutes and like that's it. Like, here's some transparency. This recording, 1 hour, 3 minutes, and 19 seconds. So I would love help. I mean, heck, I'm giving out WoW tokens so I can ask for this sort of help. Anyway, all of you folks up till now have help me go on this wild ride of WoW. I want to do more, and obviously, I don't want to stop. Please follow me on social media so you can keep in touch of my stupid tweets and my pictures of food. Catch me on Twitch on weekday mornings for my morning show where I, talk smack about whatever topics about WoW happen to come up. Of course, like these videos and subscribe to the channel, or consider becoming a patron so I can keep giving you more of this and all things Warcraft. Thanks for helping me get to 100 episodes of the weekly, and I look forward to giving you more. I'll see you next week. Until then, stay safe, stay happy, and stay breezy.